Welcome back. Before we begin, make sure you're comfortable, lights low, volume just right. And if you enjoy slow burn, realistic horror stories that feel uncomfortably close to real life, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay with me till the end. The story doesn't rush, it waits. Just like what was already waiting in that house. When we bought the house, the realtor kept calling it a steal. Old neighborhood, quiet street, mature trees bending over cracked sidewalks like tired centuries. The kind of place where nothing exciting ever happens, and that was exactly what we wanted. My wife, Claire, loved the attic immediately. She said it felt historic. I said it felt like dust and old wood and bad insulation. But it was spacious, and for a family of three, me, Claire, and our 8-year-old daughter, Lily, it meant storage without renting a unit across town. The previous owners had died within months of each other. No kids, no close relatives. The house had sat empty for almost a year. That should have bothered me more than it did. 2 weeks after moving in, on a Sunday afternoon thick with summer heat, I went up to the attic to unpack winter clothes. The air up there was cooler, damp in a way I couldn't explain. Not humid wet, like a basement near a river. That's when I saw the suitcase. It sat alone near the far wall, brown leather, edges cracked with age. Not dusty, not moldy. Just there, as if someone had placed it carefully and walked away. I didn't recognize it. Claire swore it wasn't hers. Lily couldn't have dragged something that heavy up there. When I unlatched it, the smell hit me first. River water, mud, rotting leaves. Inside were clothes, men's and women's, neatly folded. Dresses with narrow waists, wool slacks, a child's cardigan. All unmistakably from the 1950s. And every single piece was soaking wet. Not damp, not stained. Wet like they'd been pulled straight from the bottom of a river and folded with loving care. I slammed the suitcase shut. That night, I dreamed of water, of sinking, of hands pressing close against my chest to keep me from floating back up. I woke at 3:17 a.m. to a sound downstairs, a soft, wet tap, like mud falling onto hardwood. I told myself it was nothing. Houses make noises. Old houses make more. But when I stepped out of bed, my foot landed in something cold, wet. I flicked on the hall light. Muddy footprints. They came from the attic stairs and led straight toward our bedroom door. I stood frozen, staring at those footprints, my heart pounding so hard I was afraid it would wake Claire and Lily. The prints were barefoot, long toes, deep heel impressions, thick mud pressed into the grain of the wood floor, still glistening, still fresh. Whoever or whatever had walked there hadn't rushed. The steps were slow, deliberate. They stopped right at our bedroom threshold. I wiped my foot on the carpet and quietly closed the door, locking it with a soft click that sounded far too loud in the silence. Claire stirred. "What's wrong?" she whispered. "Nothing," I lied. "Just checking on Lily. I didn't sleep after that." In the morning, the footprints were gone, not dried, not smeared. Gone. The floor was clean, like it had been washed and polished overnight. No smell, no trace. Claire said maybe I dreamed it. Lily said she heard someone walking around at night, but thought it was me. I didn't tell them about the suitcase. That afternoon, I went back up to the attic. The suitcase was open, the clothes were gone, and their place was something else. A stack of black and white photographs, bound together with twine darkened by moisture. The first photo showed our house, same porch, same trees, but newer, fresh paint. No cracks in the steps. A family stood outside, a man, a woman, a little girl. The girl looked exactly like Lily, same hair, same crooked smile. On the back of the photo, written in faded ink, were the words, "We were careful. We stayed dry. It followed us anyway." The next photo showed the inside of the house. The living room, empty except for muddy footprints leading toward the stairs. The third photo was taken from the attic looking down, and in the corner of the frame was the suitcase. Behind me, the attic stairs creaked. I turned too slowly. Water dripped onto the wooden floor, one drop at a time, forming a small dark puddle at the top of the stairs. The air smelled like the river getting stronger now. I backed away as a shape began to form in the shadow below. Not climbing, rising, as if the stairs themselves were filling with water and pushing something upward. I ran. That night, Lily woke up screaming. We found her standing in the hallway, eyes unfocused, feet muddy, whispering, "It wants its clothes back." Lily didn't remember leaving her room. She didn't remember the mud or the attic, or whispering words that made no sense coming from an 8-year-old's mouth. Claire cried as she scrubbed Lily's feet clean in the bathtub, brown water swirling down the drain like something alive. That was when I finally told Claire everything: the suitcase, the clothes, the photographs. She didn't argue. She didn't laugh. She just stared at the bathroom wall like she was listening to something far away. "My grandmother drowned," she said quietly, "when I was little. Fell into a river during a flood. They never found her body. That night, rain began to fall. By midnight, it was pouring. The sound against the roof was deafening. Somewhere in the house, water started dripping, then flowing. The attic hatch creaked open on its own. From upstairs came the sound of fabric being unfolded, wet cloth slapping against wood. The smell spread through the house until it was impossible to breathe without tasting river mud. I grabbed Lily and carried her toward the front door. It wouldn't open. Water seeped from beneath it, pooling around our ankles. From the attic stairs, a figure descended. It was shaped like a person, but swollen, bloated, skin stretched pale and translucent, like something that had spent too long underwater. Its mouth hung open, full of river weeds and silt. Its eyes were milky, unfocused. It dragged the suitcase behind it. When it spoke, water poured from its lips. Dry houses steal what the river keeps. It reached for Lily. Claire screamed and threw herself between them. The thing paused. Then it dropped the suitcase at my feet and pointed toward the attic. "Return what was taken, or she comes with us." The rain stopped all at once. The house went silent, and we understood exactly what it wanted. At dawn, I carried the suitcase back into the attic. Claire and Lily waited in the car, engine running. The attic felt colder than ever. The floorboards were slick, damp to the touch. I opened the suitcase. Inside were the clothes again, soaking wet, heavier than before. I didn't know whose they were. I only knew they didn't belong here. Behind the house, less than half a mile away, ran the river. I drove there alone. The fog was thick, curling low over the water. I walked to the edge and opened the suitcase one last time. The clothes shifted on their own, as if relieved. "I'm sorry," I said, though I wasn't sure to whom. I dumped them into the river. They sank immediately. The water stilled. That was 3 years ago. We sold the house without mentioning the attic, without mentioning the suitcase. Sometimes, late at night, I still smell river water. Sometimes Lily wakes from dreams of wet footsteps and whispers, but the river hasn't risen since. And somewhere downstream, something is still folding clothes and waiting for the next dry house to forget what it stole.